this is really bad news, you know. My garden held up pretty good all this time, but today it's just been relentless. And I mean, it don't got time to drain. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. That's a little... Well, let's see, I got brassicas and volunteer tomatoes in that. Flooded. Herb bed ain't so bad. But the goldfish pond is overflowing. See, it's just a little bit unlevel. That's the story. Pathways flooded. Let me see. Green beans are flooded, but not so bad. I think the backyard's doing better than the front yard. Down here, I got some hostas. Yeah. And I got this plant. Let's see, what is it? It's a camellia. You can make tea out of these. Now, this is a japonica. It's supposed to get like 7 foot tall, and it has really pretty pink flowers on it. And I guess the new growth of the leaves and the new, when you get flowers, you can make tea, white and black. Now there is a different variety that starts with an S that's the true form that you make the tea out of. I mean, I just like the flowers, but the tea things is fascinating, and I thought I might get a couple of those bushes. Look at that little lily over there getting choked out. We're not going to talk about the obvious stuff that's been happening here, the flooding. As you can see, still dealing with it. And you know what's going to happen tonight? I got to get the water out of here. Tonight, I'm having more rain. And I don't know. I don't need more. So I got to empty some water out of this. All the seeds I've planted have come up. There's some weeds. Some goosefoot. Sunflowers. But look how thick that patch is. I mean, stuff must have washed out and gathered in that one spot. But it's okay. We'll see what happens with the bloomings. Phlox. I want to talk about phlox. This stuff is funny. It closes up at night or when it rains. So if you want to know if it's going to rain, if your phlox is closed, the answer is yes. Anyway, everything's okay. The flooding and everything. Those are volunteer tomatoes over there with a few brassicas and some weeds. I haven't been able to mow. All my grass is terrible. Did you know that wormwood, besides being put in absinthe, okay, has worming property? It's wormwood, okay? Wormwood. So you can feed like a tablespoon to your goats. I don't know how much you'd feed a chicken. I would think you'd need to dry it and sprinkle it on the food to feed it to your chickens. Because how are you going to know how much they're getting? But anyway, this and the mugwort we got out front are both wormers. So I'm going to do a little bit more research before I feed it to my goats. Because, you know, what if it like kind of gets some, it has, what's it called, a psychotropic, it's a floppy good video. Anyway, don't feed wormwood to your goats. Just because I talked about it, alright? I'm saying there are natural remedies for worming goats on the market that have wormwood in them. Anyway. Got a little prickly pear going. I moved it from the front yard. Some oregano there. Something that looks like a daffodil, but it's much meaner. Daffodil. Oh my god, I'm going to start up the stove. And that is here. Some kind of crazy... What is that? Why can't I think of what those flowers are called? Dandelion! Is that a dandelion just gone out of control? I swear I've got a couple of these in my yard. I don't know what they are. And they've got stickers on them. Anyway, I stuck a clematis here, hoping it grows up this trellis on the other side of the rose. And I got some oregano here that is about to bolt. Got an Annie Oakley who wants some loving. She's just gonna have to wait a minute. Apple trees look good, and they still have apples on them. I was worried about that with all that rain. And here's my little arch. Roses on it, and they need to be picked. Some of them are kind of spent. Girl tried to dry some the other day, and she kind of made rose wine perfume. It stunk so bad. Girl, that's mildewed. Anyway, maybe after these dry out today, I'll take them in and we'll try again. This is my little fuchsia down here. It's looking good. I want another one. I want to winter those so I can just bring it back out next year. So my daylilies looking crazy. Did you know that you can eat daylilies? You can eat the root. You can eat the tiny shoots that come up every spring. And you can eat the flowers. So that's something to know. There's my foraging tip of the day. Thank you. Now, I'm not in the best health to be going out traipsing through the woods foraging right now, you know. But speaking of foraging, I can find 3 or 4 things out in my yard right now that I can forage. Daylilies, but also, these are wild onions. And now they've went to seed. But those will fall down and make more onions. But also, I could pull a few right now and eat the bottoms, so they may not taste as good. When they're young, I go around and just trim off the tops if I want green onion. They kind of taste more garlicky than oniony, and it's not a strong flavor whatsoever. But I like to dry these and just keep them in the cabinet, and I'll throw them in stuff, you know, like eggs, scrambled eggs. They're so good in there. So there you go. Speaking of foraging, this stuff right here is chickweed. You know, apparently you can eat that. My husband found this. I did not know. And there's some more of that dang goosebud. It comes up everywhere here. Yeah. Well, I know for sure, if you don't want to eat it, you can feed it to your animals, and they love it. Chickweed. Think about it. There has to be a reason. There you go. It's a little pineapple sage, which I love. A little verbena or vervain. That's supposed to be nasturtiums in that pot. It looks like morning glories. I made the mistake of putting morning glories all around my yard. Every fence I had morning glories on it, and it was beautiful. But I have paid the price. Look at that. Can you see it? More morning glories. We've been going around plucking them up wholesale. It's a little lavender. This thing is about 4 or 5 years old. Half of it died, so we pulled it up and reburied it different. Yeah, it perked it right back up. Alright. Lilies. Just a big old row of them. My peppers are on the other side. This is a cucumber bucket. Look at this. I had this idea. I see these buckets I had my tomatoes in last year, you know, out front. And I was looking around at my fencing, and I said, my gosh, almost saved floor space. So this is my idea. I mean, it's not going to win a Nobel Prize or nothing, but I stuck this bucket on the fence. Saving myself some room and giving myself some grow space. The birds ate my cucumber seedlings, so I had to replant. But over there in those buckets, I've got more. Somebody is calling me on my cell phone in the house, but that's okay. These are my tomatillo buckets. I've got 2 seeds planted in each bucket. Nothing's happening there. I might have to replant after all that rain, you know. There's my shadow. More peppers. This is actually the first time I've been in the garden all week. I can't tell you. I am so ready to get back outside. Feel cooped up. Worried about my animals. Worried about my vegetables. Worried about people around me. Are we going to live through this? Let's not talk about the rain. Here's some more. Oh, that aggravates me. Do you see that Bermuda grass going right through the middle of my dadgum oregano? That stuff is... I don't know. I don't know who invented it. I know who invented it, and I just don't know. Alright. Peppers, peppers, peppers. I mean, I went out here. These pepper plants are too small to be putting on peppers. You know? And they just keep doing it anyway. I've got to weed. I'm hoping it dries out enough today to let me weed a little right here. Said we need to mow. Look at this weed patch. My gosh. And this is how morning glories get you right here. You see that one growing up the fence? Right over there? You turn your back and they are climbing up. I had them climbing up my apple trees last year. That's just silliness. Some sunflowers that grew from volunteer. Those are black oil, I betcha. Black oil sunflowers are awesome, right? Don't plant them in your garden. It's like morning glories. They pop up everywhere. Look. There's 2 of them over there by that apple tree. I went ahead and left those. But I had to pull them all out of this area. And in this garden, they just pop up everywhere. Because, you know, they don't just reseed where you have them. Got some sweet pea flowers finally. I don't know what brand of sweet peas is. The thing is, my old sweet peas were old. My old sweet peas were very old. So I mad planted those last year and then this year. So they're all gone. This is the new kind. In fact, that little sparse row was probably the old ones. They were just so old. I'm going to say old one more time. There's my other sweet peas. This is vegetable sweet pea. Now I do have some sweet pea flowers planted, but I don't know if they're going to flower. I think I planted them too late. This is my cabbage, which is trying to start its little head down here. It's going to get to 81, so I got to put my shade cloth up today. Got to do that. Broccolis are in here too. Just trying to beat the heat. These are my tomatoes I'm okay with. Those are the ones I think are stunted. That's a cucumber over there. And let's see. These are got a package of mixed squashes. They're all the kind of patty pan kind. And that's what's here. A couple more morning glory seeds. My gosh. My green beans. Those are the bush ones. I've got my pole beans out front. It's my flower garden. I'm going to come out here and harvest these beet greens because I think I just planted them too thick to expect any beets, and that's fine. Can't say enough about this rose bush. Even though I lost Joseph's coat. Look at all that. Just, it's beautiful. It smells good too. The jury was out on what kind of squash this was because it was a volunteer. But the plant app says it is a pumpkin. And we did go around and feed pumpkin last fall to all our animals, because that's a natural warmer too. See, that's what I'm saying, man. I think we could take that mugwort and the wormwood, throw some pumpkin in there. Not that our animals have parasites, it's preventative, you know. That's the way you want to do it. Although my apple trees are looking good. I'm going to start trying to weight down some of the branches on this one so it has a more open shape. Been reading about it. This is my okra and sunflower patch with a pond in it. I don't know. Guess we're going to have to plant something in that and fill it up. Look at knocked down sunflowers. Ah, see, there was a river that was running right through there. Knocked down those sunflowers and said, I'm going to stay here. It's our elderberry tree. Bush. And I think that's just about it for the backyard. I'm trying not to kill myself in the mud. Cucumbers. I think I need to move that one. Cucumbers. He doesn't have enough sun.
This is our green stalk. We took it apart and moved it and transplanted most of our strawberries into it. We got like 30 strawberry plants in here. And up here my wife just planted some thyme. And we have basil. Oh, I'm sorry, it's parsley, it's not basil, my bad. And then up here, dill. And we had herbs in it, and it was in the front yard, and it wasn't doing great. And our strawberries were in a wet spot. So we just killed two birds with one stone. Moved it back here, transplanted our strawberries into it. Should be good. Out here in the front, I just want to show you real quick that our elephant ears are trying to make a comeback. Kinky, get out of there. Bad dog. I've got 5 elephant ears that are starting to come back. So there's hope there. Right here, there's some mugwort that's been growing there for a couple of years now, looking really, really good. In here we have some carrots planted, a few little sweet peas that you can just barely see from here, and it's really muddy so I don't want to step too far. And our grapes, and the grapes seem to be doing very well. Check them out. Down here are the few strawberries that we didn't move. They seem to be kind of protected in the wet area. This is where we transplant our strawberries from. It's just a muddy mess. In these spots here we have some watermelons planted. You can see they're just starting to sprout. I'm going to have to move these to a sunnier spot. I'm not really sure where that'll be right now because our big oak tree is shading the entire front yard. And here we have some asparagus. Now I just harvested asparagus, so you can't see any real shoots of it yet, but there's a plant right there that's going to seed. And back there is our rose bush and some mint all growing around the bottom. In this pot here we have some peppers. Didn't really have room for them in the pepper patch, so we put them here. The pot here is some sweet pea flowers. See how they do. And these hills here is some butternut squash and acorn squash in between our irises, which are just about done for the season. That really started coming up yet, but we've had so much rain. And that red tub right there is wisteria. Now, it remains to be seen whether that's going to be a good idea or a bad idea. Along the cattle panel, that half is beans. And the little hills down here that are getting kind of growed up are butternut squash. These hills are crookneck squash, and they're just starting to sprout. See some right there. Well, like I said, we've had so much water, everything's just kind of behind. Here we have some more peas planted, and you can see I'm going to have to run another support rope through there for them to climb on. Well, they're getting really, really big. You have to excuse all the noise. Today is our little town's annual Kolache Festival. It's like a celebration of Czech heritage, and it just goes crazy. Over here is another iris bed where we have our white irises, which I really love. And down here, I believe these are called cucharas. I can't remember exactly. They're really pretty. I've got another one right here. This right here is a native honeysuckle that my daughter transplanted, and she just moved it this year. It was getting out of hand, so she brought it somewhere more unobtrusive. And there's still some runners over there in that garden. I call it the renegade honeysuckle. This honeysuckle here we brought with us from Colorado, and it is doing great. Look how big and beautiful it is. I think it likes Oklahoma.
Look at that. There are foxes in the middle of my town. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. This is on the road right behind our house. I almost jumped out the car.